Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So when this news came out, was about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I wasn't able to give my thoughts about the fight. You know, what I mean, I was on other people's channels during their live chats. Just leaving little comments here and there. Um, but let me take the opportunity. What's good, Yonatan EAS? What's good, man? Just want to give my quick thoughts about this fight. Like I said, didn't really give my chance. Didn't get a chance to make a video, so it's gonna be real quick, man. Now let's rewind. Okay, so when this news came out that Wilder's gonna, have the rematch with Ortiz, this was prior to, the Joshua and Ruiz fight. It was right, it was right after the right after Brazil. Wilder had knocked out Brazil, right? So when I first heard it, this wasn't a fight that I was clamoring for, like a rematch. You know what I mean? The Tyson Fury rematch, that's something I was clamoring for because it ended in a draw. A lot of fans think Wilder won. A lot of fans think Tyson Fury won. It was a draw. All right. So I was clamoring for that. Now, Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, good first fight. Very good first fight. Rashawn Hudson was good. Main event boxing talk was good. He says, let me see. Rashawn says was good. Main event says, man, you gonna apologize to me. What are you talking about? Yeah, man, you've been leaving messages, main event. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. But let me get to this real quick. So I ain't got that much time, man. I thought the first fight was a really good fight. All right. Uh I'm just a fan of, I just want to see more mixes and matches of just, like Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder, or, just mixes and matches, man. Yes, I wanted the Fury rematch with Wilder because it ended in a draw. All right. But the first fight between Ortiz and Wilder was a really good fight. A lot of fans are saying, Ortiz doesn't look the same. He didn't look all that great in his last fight against Christian Hammer. And some people are just forgetting, or maybe they don't know, or maybe they're not privy enough to Christian Hammer and his fights. He is a tough guy to look just spectacular against. Yes, I know Tyson Fury stopped Christian Hammer, and I also know that Marius Watt put Christian Hammer to sleep with a big right hand years ago. I know that. But I also know that Povetkin couldn't do nothing with him for 12 rounds as far as knocking him out either. So Luis Ortiz isn't the only one in that boat that couldn't knock out Christian Hammer. And Christian Hammer knows how to survive, right? He's been picking up some notable wins. I'm not trying to talk him up, but he's not a bum like people think. You dig what I'm saying? He beat Michelle Wallace. I know a Jaguar just beat Wallace not too long ago. Christian Hammer beat Erkin Tepper not too long ago. So, he puts up the high guard. He knows how to survive. Luis Ortiz loved to counterpunch. Hammer was kind of taking that away from him by putting up the high guard, uh, taking the offense out of the fight. He will put up the high guard and try to wing over overhand rights. He caught Ortiz a few times, but Ortiz wasn't staggered. He didn't get dropped. He wasn't losing rounds. He dominated the fight. It just didn't look all, he didn't look all that impressive doing it, but he dominated that fight. And then he would land some counter shots on Hammer. And what did Hammer do? Kind of a smart thing. Once he did get caught with a clean counter, he retreated. He didn't stand there and say, hey, counter me again. I'm going to throw another wild shot for you to counter me. Now, once he tasted the counter, he moved around, survived, and then he was winging overhand rights. You know what I mean? So um, Luis Ortiz, since he is a counterpuncher, when fighters make him the aggressor, he doesn't look all that great in those type of fights, like the Malik Scott fight, the Dave Allen fight, fights like that where he doesn't look at all that great. So the Malik Scott and Dave Allen fight, all those fights, people say, oh, he doesn't look the same. He looks old. Okay, well, all those fights were prior to the first, or to the Wilder fight, the first Wilder fight, right? He still came in a Wilder fight and, did his thing. And that's not the only fight I've heard fans say he doesn't look all that great. I remember after the Tony Thompson fight, he dropped Thompson numerous times, and a lot of fans are still saying they look that great. You know what I mean? So I don't know what this guy has to do to look, quote, great. You dig what I'm saying? Now, he did spark out Razvan Kanjanu and Matias Vidando and guys like that, but he's winning. He doesn't like he's slipping, in my opinion. Now, some fans do think he is slipping. looking at the Christian Hammer fight, but I was just breaking little technical things down. The counter punching is still there. Um, he was getting hit, but he didn't get, like I said, dropped numerous times or was losing rounds or anything like that. I think the counter's still there. His reflexes are still there. He's not like this. He's never been like a super fast starter where he's coming out the gates like, Joe Frazier or prime Mike Tyson. He's always been like a methodical, walk you down, power punching counter puncher. Now, I do believe in guys can get old overnight, where just one night in the ring, they just, get old. But I haven't really saw that with him. You know what I mean? Another thing I noticed in the Christian Hammer fight that's still there is when Hammer did throw, Ortiz was ready to throw right back. So that fast twitch muscle of being able to throw right back once you throw at him, whether you land or you hit his glove or his elbow, he's ready to throw back. That's still there as well. All right. So I went back and I watched the Wilder fight with Ortiz, the first one, and I'm thinking, man, this may be a tactical fight for majority of the fight until they start opening up, because both of these, Wilder knows that he can knock him out because he's done it before, and his power suggests that when he gets in the ring with people, he usually puts them on their ass at the very least, if not knock them out. Luis Ortiz knows that he can hurt Wilder very bad. You know what I mean? And what did he hurt Wilder with initially? A counter right hook. Wilder was landing a big right hand. He landed it. And there was a right hook he didn't even see. And to tell you the truth, man, I have to damn near put that in slow motion when he landed it, because it was so damn quick. You know what I mean? That right hook he landed. Then he landed some punches after that, straight left hands and things of that nature to back Wilder up and hurt him in that seventh round. All right. And I thought and it just not the seventh round, man. He was having success in a lot of the early rounds, in my opinion. Um, when they make it that type of posturing and pecking away and probing and, trying to time each other. Uh, but it's just hard to just see anybody just standing up to that right hand, man. And and you guys always hear me say, you're not going to you're not going to knock everybody out. You have to have a plan B. But damn, man, I'm almost thinking Deontay Wilder just breaks that rule, man, because when that right hand lands on people, man, it just does something to him. It just does something to him, y'all. Like, it just does something to him, man. Now, just because I wasn't clamoring for the fight does not mean that this isn't a very difficult fight for Deontay Wilder, man. I'm going to edge Wilder in the fight because he won the first fight. He knows, we know, Ortiz knows that he can knock him out and hurt him and drop him. Man, this to me it's a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight to pick because you can't just count Ortiz out because he's a very good counter puncher, man. I'm curious if Ortiz is going to change anything going into this fight. Will he try to work the body? Will he try to work the body in this fight, man? Paul Player, what's good, bro? Main event, Boxer Talk says, the other day I said Joshua was a bum. He says Joshua win the rematch. Still, main event, I have no clue what you're talking about, bro. You said on the message that I cussed you out. I don't remember cussing you out, man. What video, when was this? I don't know, bro. I'm still confused by that. Mr. Doc, what's good, Mr. Doc? Ain't seen you in a while, man. He says, hypothetically, if Ortiz were to pull the upset, would Ruiz versus Ortiz, an all Hispanic undisputed heavyweight title fight, be a big fight or a big disappointment? It'd be a big disappointment for those that want to see Wilder Fury. For me as a fan, man, that'd be a great fucking fight, dude. Ortiz versus Ruiz, I'm talking about just styles. You got two good counter punchers, or Ruiz has good hand speed. He's always set the punch. He kind of does what Ortiz likes to do, where when you throw, he's set to punch. Both of these guys are set to punch. I think that'd be a tactical fight. You know what I mean? That one would be a very tactical fight, man. So for me, I wouldn't be disappointed. Shit, I would love that fight. You know what I mean? But for people who are just looking for like Wilder versus Fury to take place when they're both undefeated and that type of thing, then yeah, for those set of fans, it would be a big disappointment. Um, let me see here. Right Hook Boxing, what's good, man? King Strick, what's up? BG London says, I was surprised Wilder's giving Ortiz a rematch. King Kong nearly gave me a heart attack first fight. Yeah, bro. As that was going on in the seventh round, I literally picked up my phone and went to my video editor, and I was literally I was about to start making the video as it was going, and then he survived. I gave it until when it went into that next round, the eighth round. Um, and then I was like, shit, this shit ain't over. So I turned my phone off. Like I was literally about to start making a video going crazy. Like, damn, Luis Ortiz did it. First Cuban heavyweight champion. And then we know what happened in the fight. You know what I mean? Uh Leo Donald was good, bro. Always good to see you. Xavier the boxer nerd says, I finally caught a Mr. Boxing live. That's what's up, man. Main event boxing talk says Wilder will win quicker this time. Um, he might, man. And you know what, main event? That's what I said initially. That's what I said. That's why I came on here and did a video because I was just on other people's chats when they were going live. And I did initially say that. So for those of you that see me say or see me typing one of the, I forgot which live stream I was on, one of the guys I'm sub to. So you might have seen me say, so you might say, Mr. Boxer, I heard, I read that you said that he's going to win quicker on the live stream. But I was watching the fights today, man. I really don't know, man. Like, man, I really don't know. Usually I go with my gut, but when you got a tricky counter puncher like that, and another thing, Ortiz is going to be up for this. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be Christian Hammer in front of him or Travis Kaufman. You know what I mean? He's going to be up for this. That's another fight people says or that Ortiz didn't look great in, the Travis Kaufman fight. Again, Travis Kaufman is not just, you know, easy to look great against. Now, are there probably some guys out there, because styles make fights that'll look great against him, possibly. I know he got dropped by what he fought the guy? Alexander Kaufman got dropped. You know what I mean? But and I was actually at that fight because I was on the Wilder Fury undercard. And there watching it live, he controlled it completely. You know what I mean? Kaufman, he was taking advantage of what Kaufman was giving him. Ortiz does not like to be the aggressor unless it's just a total mismatch, like when he was coming up early in his career going against guys that he should just run through back when Luis Ortiz had the blonde hair. Some people forget that Ortiz had the blonde haircut we had, But back in those days when he was fighting outside at parks, you know what I mean, venue baseball fields and shit. But as you step up and you're going against the fringe contender-esque tough guys, it's just hard to just run through everybody like that, man. Especially when you're not a lead front runner type of guy. He likes to wait and counter. His power punching, I think, puts a lot of fans in the mindset of that he's a come forward guy, and he's not. You know what I mean? At least that's just what I see, man. And like I always say, I'm just a dude on YouTube talking shit, right? Boxing conversations with Reggie Owens, my man. What's good, bro? Let me see. John Jeho says, what's good, man? Don't you think Wilder is going to be running out of opponent at one point after Ortiz, Fury, and eventually Konowski? And I don't see Finko put a Jagba in there so early. Hey man, you still got, Dillian White, you got you know, Andy Ruiz. There's still guys out there. I just think on paper, we just will automatically pick Wilder to beat anybody, but that's why you fight the fights. You dig what I'm saying? Um, the shit might end up like he did Brazil, or he might have a tough one like he had with Ortiz in the first one. Style make fights. You know what I mean? In another fight, although we are neither here or there with this fight, but let me see what time it is because I got to run here in a minute. Damn. Um, fuck. This topic's gonna take too long. I was gonna talk about Wilder versus Ruiz. I'm gonna come back to that because I literally got a few minutes, and it's gonna take me way longer than a few minutes to break down Ruiz versus Wilder. But what I will say is this: if you guys go on the video I uploaded yesterday, I did a interview with Andrew Ruiz a few years ago before the Parker fight, and I just re-uploaded that snippet of him talking about, now this is years ago, him talking about taller, muscular heavyweights and how to deal with them. Going to their body, he has quicker hands, he's relentless, he has a good chin, and he likes to mix it up while those guys like to headhunt. Wilder is a king of head hunting. You know what I mean? Is what he does, but he's good at it. You know what I mean? He's got him this far. He's knocking dudes out, and once that right hand hits anywhere, guys fall. Right? Yes, I've seen him occasionally throw body shots against actually the Ortiz fight when he landed a nice little left hook to the body. But for the most part, Wilder likes to head hunt. You know what I mean? Now, what happens when he misses a right hand? Ortiz was taking advantage of some of those times that Wilder's missing right hands by what? Ready to counter right away when Wilder threw the right hand. Wilder's leaving that right hand out there too long. If he don't pull it back in time or at least come back with a left hook after he throws that right hand, he can be touched and touched many times, especially by a guy like Ruiz. Another thing, if Johann Dupa is able to put up the high guard, press Wilder, push him back a little bit, why wouldn't Ruiz be able to do the same thing? And he has quicker hands, and his defense is better, and he isn't just giving you himself as a target. He is moving a little bit, moving ahead slightly. Even though he's coming forward, he's keeping his head back just a little bit, guards up, ready to parry and shoot, catch and shoot. But the thing is, and I'm not just saying this because Wilder has a big right hand. I'm saying this because if you guys, another thing, I like to bring up old videos I did because for those of you that are probably new listeners, I don't want nobody to think I'm just talking out my ass, man. I have a video, it's called Joseph Parker versus Andrew Ruiz Road to the Championship Part 1 and Part 2. In Part 1 of that video from 3 years ago, I said in the video, the punch that Ruiz gets hits with a lot when I watch him fight, even though with all his good, but if you break down some of the, if we're nitpicking and breaking them down a little bit, a punch that he always gets hit with a lot that I seen in the Rafael Zubano fight and when Joe Hanks was trying to land on him, straight right hands. I said it 3 years ago, man. He just gets hit with straight right hands. You know what I mean? When Ruiz does get hit, now obviously Joshua landed a hook, but it's the straight right hand, especially the Zubano Love fight. Now you could probably say that, hey, he was more willing to take those because he knew Zubano Love had nothing for him. Okay, fair enough. But when I was watching him, right hands is something he has a tough time getting out of the way of. Although he does have good defense and he parries and he moves his head and he goes to the body, it's still right hands. And until I see otherwise, man, Wilder usually hurts you, knocks you out. I know Fury was able to survive, but he usually is putting people away with that right hand. You know what I mean? But how will Wilder react to somebody snatching his ribs away, beating up his body, making him miss that right hand? When he does throw it, they're countering right back. How would he deal with that? You know? I would love to see Wilder versus Andrew Ruiz Jr., man. All right, I'm gonna say what's up to a few of you, man. I gotta jump off here. Let me see here. Let me see. Shotgun Sandwich ENT, always good to see you, man. He says, love your insight, bro. Appreciate that. Leo Donald says, dude is definitely still dangerous, but for how long? I'm wondering how much does he have left in the tank. Main event Boxing Talk says Wilder by KO round 3. Formerly Triple H 1200 says, please rewatch the fight, folks. AJ Ruiz, it was a temple shot, just like Charlo Jackson and Harrison Nilsson. AJ opened up and got caught. Yeah, bro, and he doesn't look. He doesn't move his head enough, man. And what about his stamina? Isn't look, him getting hit in the temple. Okay, cool. You still got hit because you didn't, he wasn't moving his head, man. I just think his head movement is just obsolete, man. That's just my opinion, and I've been saying it for years. And it's hard to bring that up when he's undefeated with 3 titles, and you're trying to converse with fans about it because they think you're hating. He has 3 titles, he's never lost. So when you bring up a flaw, people just think you're hating. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's been beaten, people are still. I'm not saying you necessarily, but people are still, leaning towards people are hating on him and it was an off night. And okay, well, I've been seeing him not move his head all that well since he's been a pro, even in the amateurs, man. So, but he's gotten this far, you know what I mean? But I think people are going to start to exploit that more. But you're still in a danger zone with him, though, man. Just don't think because he don't move his head that you could just come mid-range and start just throwing with him. Andrew Ruiz is a unique fighter that he excels mid-range like that, and he has fast hands, and he wants to brawl like that. But just because that's where AJ is most comfortable doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right game plan for Andy Ruiz. Maybe it is for other guys, but not Andrew Ruiz. It is for Klitschko, right? For a Klitschko type of opponent. Why? Because Klitschko wants to hold and clinch vice grip mid-range. He wants to hold. He doesn't really want to fight mid-range. Unless he has you hurt and he wants to get you out of there. Let me see here. Main event boxing talk says, will Char Bryan ever happen? Hopefully it does, man. They're talking about getting that fight together. Hopefully it does. 6'9 Clover 01 says, honestly, I can't see the risk and reward in the rematch, G. Donald Quirk says, Ortiz could not do it in the first time. It won't beat Wilder this time. Wilder will beat him easier this time. And already old Ortiz is another year older. True, he is another year older. But like I always say, I think heavyweights age a little bit slower than the rest of the divisions, mainly because they can work behind the jab. They don't have to let as many punches go. They can peck away with the 1-2s and just work on their timing as they get a little bit older. Even if you're faster, they can still time you. Damn, you guys, I gotta run, man. Shit. Um, we'll pick up with this tomorrow, man. But I gotta run right now. Appreciate you guys showing up for this very short live stream. For me, this is short, right? Because I'm usually on here for a damn near hour and a half, man. We'll chop it up again, y'all. Y'all be easy. I'm gone.